Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Kevin, and in today's video I want to talk about how to use your ego to level up your life. Now, I know ego kind of gets a bad rep, like being prideful, like how J. Cole made the song Pride is the Devil. I mean, there is a lot of truth to that. I feel like if you have too much ego, it could work against you. And I know a lot of people like that, where they just let their ego consume them, and then it's like I couldn't even talk to the guy because, he thought he was levels above me or something like that. So if that's your situation, or if you think you're like that, just take a step back, self-reflect, and realize that the world does not revolve around you. However, you could use your ego in a more positive way. Now, personally, the way I think you can use ego to level up your life is basically be egotistical, but in your own head. But on the outside, don't portray yourself as egotistical. So basically, it's almost like you're cocky in your mind, but you let your actions speak for yourself. You don't actually portray yourself as cocky with your words. Water break. Bro, California is hot as I swear, man. But anyways, basically what I'm trying to say is let your actions do all the talking for you. And in this way, it comes out more as confident than as cocky and egotistical. And if you can mix this in with being humble, then I think you can perfect the recipe. Because the thing is, once you start acting super cocky, I feel like that's when it all goes downhill, because what goes up must come down. Once you get super egotistical, you start to be very complacent and just think you're on top of the world. But trust me, there's many people doing better than you. Obviously, there's people doing worse than you as well. But no matter who you are, where you are, what you are, there's going to be people doing better than you. And if you come across these people and they take a fat doo-doo on you, then bye-bye to your ego. If you really want to be smart about it, be egotistical, if you want to call it that, in your head, and let your actions speak for you. And this will come out as confident, and this way you'll gain the respect of other people. Now, I'm not saying fake your persona or, think one way in your head, but act one way in real life. But basically what I'm trying to say is, if you're confident, you don't always have to explain to people and talk to them in a way like you're confident. Like, have you ever met a dog that's super quiet? They never bark, they never make any noise. But once you get on their nerve one time, they bite you like you just got bitten by a crocodile. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't always have to do all the talking, but instead do the work and do the action. Keep in mind, I'm not saying be a little but I feel like there's a fine line that you're not supposed to cross, front and back. So don't be a little but also don't be an egotistical either. And if you ever feel like you're reaching too far, honestly, just take a step back and self-reflect. Now, I can probably make a whole video about self-reflecting, and I probably will in the future. But basically what self-reflecting is kind of like meditating, but you're not really meditating. You kind of just take a step back and you think about everything in your life. Like, why did I do this? How did I do this? Did I do this right? Did I do this wrong? The best way I can describe it is, whoever's watching this, you might be young, but if you've ever had a job interview, you can't lie. The second that job interview is over, whether you think you did phenomenal or you think you did absolutely trash, you walk out of that door and you instantly just start thinking, how did I talk? How did I look? How was my posture? Did I make eye contact? Did I say the right things? All that stuff. And when you're thinking all those thoughts in your head, you're basically self-reflecting. probably unconsciously. I mean, I feel like that's just human nature, but sometimes you need to purposely take a step back and self-reflect and make sure you're on the right path, because sometimes you steer off the wrong path and you don't even realize it until it's too late. So no matter what, every once in a while, just take a step back and just think to yourself, is what I'm doing the right thing? And in general, when it comes to ego, I think the best way to think about it is that you should always think you're the best at anything you're doing. In your head though, you should always think you're the best, and you should definitely act like you're the best. But I don't think you should necessarily portray that in real life with talking and other stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's always going to be you versus you. That's the key here. It's not you against your friends or family or random people or whoever's in your gym that you're going to, or whatever it has to be about. It's always going to be you versus you from yesterday. And honestly, I think that if as each day that goes by, if you can improve yourself and be better than who you were yesterday, I think that's a W in my opinion. Obviously, some days you're gonna feel great, you're gonna feel amazing, and some days you're gonna feel like complete garbage, and honestly, that's fine. But again, just remember where you came from and try to find that fire within you, even if that's from ego. But just don't get too egotistical to the point where you start losing respect of others. But even that has exceptions, because some people are just gonna hate on you to hate anyway. Once they see you doing good, they're gonna get pissed off at themselves. And so the hate that they spew at you is actually how they feel about themselves. So if it's like that, then who gives a But if it's like genuine people that actually care about you, obviously don't get too egotistical to the point where you start losing the respect and stuff like that. Now, if you're doing really good in some sort of a field, like let's say you're in the NBA, right? And you're like an amazing basketball player, like you can shoot, you can lay up, you have good dribbling, you have good passing awareness, all that stuff. If you have all that stuff and you're just an overall amazing player, that's great. But if you're talking everyone on the court 24/7, then honestly, you're just gonna lose everyone's respect, even if you are good. But if you can do the talking in your head, not only does that bring your confidence up, but you're not being a towards everyone else too. So I think that's the key. You're basically being cocky and egotistical in your own mind, but you don't want to portray that. Now, to some people, I know that could seem kind of two-faced, and I understand that, but I don't think it has to be one way or the other. And I think this is a healthy balance of like being as confident as possible while also being as humble as possible. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna do it for this video. Basically, the TLDR of this video was use your ego to level up your life, but don't let it get to a point where you lose yourself and you lose who you are and what your identity at the core is. So as long as you don't lose your key values and your morals, I think it's fine. And yeah, that's basically it for this video. If you guys have any suggestions, drop them down in the comments. If you guys want to see other videos, drop them down as well. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out. Peace!